Hi friends, this is the LAMZU Thorn. It's LAMZU's first ergonomic shape, and oh boy did we wait for this one. Let's see if it stands up for the hype. Let's start with the shape because that is the most important part of the mouse. The mouse measures around 120mm in length and is 58mm wide from the center, which makes it to be a small to medium sized mouse. The mouse differs from basically all other Ergos with its more aggressive hump, which almost seems like a half circle looking from the side view. This kind of shape makes this mouse a very good fit for more aggressive claw grip, and I can get a very stable aggressive claw grip with my 17.5 x 10.5 cm hand. Let's quickly compare the Thorn to other Ergo mice I have. So, as we can see, it is much longer and wider than the X-Lite V2 Mini, and the center on the Thorn sits much higher also. In hand the Thorn feels a lot bigger all around. Then the Zowie EC3C is a very similar in size to the Thorn, but there are a few key differences that makes this feel a very different mouse in hand. Firstly, the hump on the EC3C is much flatter and gives you that very relaxed claw grip. And the front right corner on the EC3C is a bit more rounded. In hand I can get a very relaxed claw grip with the EC3C, and I tend to hook the right corner with my ring finger for extra stability. On the Thorn, my hand is in a much more upwards position and I can't reach the front corner with my fingers. I can't really say which shape I really like better, since I feel very comfortable with both. Then the Death Adder V3 is a much bigger mouse in length and width, but the height is actually the same with the Thorn. In hand the Death Adder V3 feels a lot bigger. So to wrap up the shape discussion, the Thorn is a more aggressive take on the much loved ergonomic shape that will suit mostly claw grippers with a variety of hand sizes and palm grippers with smaller hands. What comes to the build quality of the Thorn, it doesn't disappoint. Like other LAMZU mice, the Thorn is built really well and only a small creaking sound is audible when squeezing the mouse firmly from the sides. The sideways wobble on the main buttons is also very minimal, and there is no switch grinding when bottoming out the buttons. The weight on the mouse is 54 grams on my scale, which is slightly different from what's written on the box. My guess is that the 52 grams on the box is the weight of the black version, since white coating tends to weigh more due to the pigments used. But it's still a very light mouse and the weight is also very nicely balanced. Speaking of the coating, it's very good, at least for my skin type. It feels similar to the coating on the elegant blue Atlantis Mini that I had, so it's very grippy, but not that fingerprint magnet either. The skates are also very good for stock skates and are nicely rounded thick PTFE, similar to something from Corpads. The center skate is in my opinion a bit funny looking, but hey, it works. The switches on the Thorn are optical switches and their implementation feels pretty good overall. I can notice them to have a slight pre-travel and some post-travel, but nothing alarming, and in-game I don't really notice it at all. Pre-travel is also slightly bigger when clicking from the front. In lightness, I would rate these around the same as the opticals in Pulsar X2H Mini. The side buttons are also very good in my opinion, and they have a really satisfying actuation. The size of them might be just a tad bit too large for my tastes, but they work very nicely, and that is the most important thing. The scroll wheel could be slightly lighter to scroll for my Apex needs, but I believe it's a good balance considering there are games where you cannot tap strafe and prefer the wheel to be somewhat tighter to scroll. Specs wise, the LAMZU Thorn is using the Pixar 3395 sensor together with the Nordic MCU, and therefore is capable of 4K polling. To achieve the 4K polling with the LAMZU Thorn, you need to purchase the additional 4K dongle, which looks pretty nice with the Atlantis themed graphics. The motion delay at 4K is minus 0.3 milliseconds compared to my control unit, at 2K around minus 0.1 milliseconds, and hovering between plus 0.5 and 1 milliseconds with 1K polling. Also, I couldn't see any significant differences with motion sync on or off. When we compare the LAMZU's implementation to other mice, we can see it's nearly identical to Pulsar's mice, and also the polling rate seems to be very stable all across the board. The unboxing experience with LAMZU mice is always an experience. You get a nice pouch that holds the standard dongle and the cable, then you get the manual, optional bottom sticker, extra set of PTFE skates, and then some grips if you find the Thorn to be slippery. And then of course you get the mouse itself. So to answer to the question, is the LAMZU Thorn a good mouse for you if you're looking for an ergo shape? Well, I'd say yes, but with a few caveats. Like I said, the shape is not the traditional ergo shape with this more aggressive hump, which tends to cater to those who like to aggressively claw their mice. Also, if your hand is very small, you could very comfortably palm grip this mouse. So yeah, if you fall into those two categories, the LAMZU Thorn could be insanely good mouse for you. But to end this video, I want to thank for everyone who watches my content, and especially those who have subscribed to my channel. We are very close to 1000 subs, and if you haven't subscribed already, please consider doing so, because it really helps my channel a lot. But that's it for this video. See you on the next one. Goodbye.